Hey folks, and welcome back to Unthinking Alive with me, Claire, and back in another really lovely field. I'm not going to move you at the moment because you're propped up on my car, but I'll give you a look over there shortly. Just a really quick video. I just had a lovely, very short interaction with a couple of dog walkers there, two ladies, and it was one sentence. She apologised for a dog being really nosy, and I said, it's all right, I'm just as nosy. That was it, nothing more than that, but it was pleasant, it was nice, and it made me think about personal relationships and human interaction, not even like relationships, just meeting our fellow human being in the world, and how what we bring to those meetings can completely transform them from just a transactional interaction. We're going to a shop, for example, you're buying something and you are totally in your own head. You're just thinking about what you're going to do when you get home and you're unloaded the shopping and what happened at work and blah, 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 to something that can be really meaningful and can enrich your life hugely. Doesn't really matter beyond that, can give you a sense of fulfillment from just a tiny little interaction with another person and finding a true connection with them. And you don't even have to say a word, doesn't matter, you don't have to speak. You might never see them again. Or it might be something where you end up chatting with them for longer for whatever reason. They come into your cafe, for example, and they're there for a bit and you end up having a chat. But as with everything else, the absolute key to it is dropping the narrative. All you need to do is turn on the news, to look on your social media feed, listen to anybody in cafes or anything like that to realise that it's completely normalised that we look for what makes other people different and what makes them other than us. And this sense of, there's nothing quite like the media to instill fear and suspicion in us. It's what they do. They're in the business of that. It's how they get eyes on the page, that's how they do it. And they don't do it consciously. When you're watching a newsreader, talk about some situation somewhere and it's this huge drama and there's so much emotion built into it and it's not just factual, it's all emotive and blah, blah, blah. Or worse still, the best thing, watch politicians talking about stuff, And that is a very quick step from there to the sort of division and hate and rhetoric that the world is absolutely saturated with, and that is high in my consciousness at the moment because we're on the brink of an election here in Germany, and I'm sure all of you know how that's looking at the moment, like with many other countries in the world. And it can feel really overwhelming to think about, how do I tackle this as an individual? How do I offer a counterpoint to this? Sorry, I've just got to share this. There's sheep in the field behind, and one of them has just done the biggest jump. So it's clearly spring. He must have got about 2 foot off the ground, and he's no small sheep. Anyway, how do you tackle it? What can you do as an individual? And of course, some people might feel that they are called to do activism and and all of that, and that's wonderful if that's your thing. But my experience is that arguing with people is rarely gets the result that I want. Getting into a kind of my view is the right view, my view is truth, yours is rubbish kind of thing, rarely results in a kind of seeing the humanity in another, and rarely results in the kind of connection that I like to have in my life. So just as I talk about in all my videos about being, dropping that narrative, whatever it is that we're dealing with, trying to approach any situation with that openness, a sense of just being conscious, being rooted in that sense of awareness, that other side of us that isn't the overthinking, conceptual, data crunching, crazy mind that tells us all these stories the whole time. Just being that awareness. And if you can, try and bring that same openness to every interaction that you have, whether it's just going into a shop and buying something, or whether it's someone new that you're meeting that you might have a friendship with, or whether it's in a business meeting that you've got a more long-term potential relationship with. If you can just be that consciousness and just hold that space, your interactions will be completely transformed. And most importantly, your day becomes way more enjoyable, because let's face it, most of the challenges that we face in life come in the form of other people. And if you can kind of strip some of that out and not be so reactive, it changes everything. And the most satisfying days that I have at work, when I come home bouncing and saying, oh, there was these people in the cafe today, and so was from so-and-so, and there was a lovely lady, and I didn't speak to her, but she had such a nice energy, or yada, yada, yada. Or someone came in and they were so stressed and there was a massive problem and blah, blah, blah. And by the time they left, they were smiling. Those are the days that I feel deep satisfaction and that I'm actually doing something useful. And it doesn't matter what I'm doing, whether I'm working in a cafe or whether I'm working as a counsellor or whether I'm in small businesses. It's not what I do, it's the energy that I bring to it. And that is absolutely fundamental. Your state of consciousness is primary in every interaction, in everything that you do. First, it's how you approach it, and then second, it's what you do. I cannot stress that enough. Two people can face the same challenge or offer the same, say the same kind of thing, response to someone. One will make you want to punch them in the face, and the other one will make them want to give you a hug. And it's all about the intent behind it, the lack of bringing a story to it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's happened a couple of times today. A couple of ladies were admiring my car. I've just washed it. If they'd seen it, this morning, they might not have said that. And we had a quick chat about that. She was thinking about getting one. Nice chat with the couple of dog walkers a minute ago here. That's it. Nothing more than that. Even a could have been difficult situation this morning with someone that works in the same space where I live. Long story short, we'd forgotten to put the bin bag out, and she was most displeased about this and give me a bit of a telling off. And I reacted in just an open kind of way. I said, oh, I'm sorry, because I hadn't realised it had just gone out my head. I'll do it straight away. No story behind it. Went and did it, came back and said, it's all done. And it was diffused and it was gone. But if I'd got on my high horse because of the way she spoke to me, because she was pretty sharp, that would have ended up very differently. And now there would have been the big thing with this neighbour. And, it takes the slightest little thing before it all goes to shit with your neighbours because you're so reactive about things. So just drop it. I can't stress that enough. Don't bring any story to it. All that stuff you might have read about these people from over there or whatever, you don't have to believe it. Just test it. You don't have to believe it. It doesn't mean there's not awful things in the world happening, awful things. And I don't mean to minimise that. But on the individual scale, it's so important, if you want to make a difference in the world, to try and leave that to one side and just deal with the person, the thing that is in front of you. That's it. And if you can do that without the judgment, you'll be amazed at what happens. You will be astounded. And people respond to it. And I have a bit of a reputation of people saying, oh, it's so lovely there, Claire's just so, oh, she's so nice. And I've had that all my life, of course, it comes from empathy and compassion as well for other people. And it can result in people thinking that's because of you and the way you are as a person. It's not me. The reason it works and the reason I have so many wonderful interactions with people is because I get out the way. That's the main thing. So if you are struggling with personal relationships, you find it challenging to not bring a weird story to it, just put it down and lose the story. I've got to go because I think the guy feeding the sheep has just arrived behind me. Okay, see you soon.